What is up, guys? You're about to listen to episode number 12 of the Third Floor Chronicles. That's right, guys, number 12. This week's special guest, Tom Green. This was recorded Sunday, July 24th, right before the 7 o'clock Sunday show. Check it out.
All right, Tom, when did you come back into the stand-up comedy world?
I can't remember. It's been fun, though. I've been touring for a couple years now. So 2 years, maybe. Subtract 2 years from today's date. Around something... maybe 2 years ago, yeah. It's been fun. I've been touring. It's been fun. Been writing. I've been having fun. Been traveling a lot and doing shows constantly. And come see me live, everybody listening. Come see my shows live. And let's have some fun. Let's party.
What made you decide to get back into the stand-up game?
I was doing my web television show, and I thought I have to get out of the house. You know, I want to go out, travel, get out on the road, and really take some time to focus on stand-up. I've always wanted to focus on stand-up, and I had some time to do it, so I thought this would be a perfect time. Plus, you know, I'm gonna move chairs right now. Is that okay if I move chairs?
Of course.
Yeah, I want to get closer to the microphone. Plus, you know, when I was younger, when I was doing stand-up, I started doing it when I was like 15 years old. Like, oh, someone's entering the room. Hello.
Hi, Boss Man Bob. You want me to come up and see if you needed anything?
Oh yeah, can you? They were gonna grab me a chicken salad and
What dressing?
some ranch dressing. We're recording too for a podcast now, so that's why I'm talking funny. And it's okay. And some cranberry juice.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to drink cranberry juice. There's no reason why I'm drinking cranberry juice. There's no reason. I don't have a urinary tract infection or anything like that. Okay, I don't. I just like cranberry juice. All right. I just happen to like cranberry juice. Is there a problem with that? No. Well, so let me drink my cranberry juice. You're looking at me funny, like I got something wrong or something. There's nothing wrong. But yeah, so I started doing stand-up when I was 15 years old, and that was 25 years ago. I'm turning 40 this month, and I did it for a few years, and then I stopped, and I always wanted to get back to it, and now I'm getting back to it, and I think it's actually better doing stand-up when you're 40. You know, it's you got more to talk about. I've got more stuff to talk about, more things that annoy me about the world, more things that I find are ridiculous, and so I've been enjoying it very much.
When you got back into it a couple years ago, what was your first set? Did you do 20 minutes? Did you do an hour right out the gate? Do you remember how that first show was?
I did about 10 minutes when I first jumped on stage a couple years ago. Then I just started, adding new jokes, and it took me about 6 months or so of writing. I got it up to about 45 minutes after about 6 months, and then I went on the road once I had about an hour. I guess I went on the road. I had a guitar at first, so I did about 10 minutes of stuff with music. So I had about 45 minutes of material, about 10, 15 minutes of music. And so I was doing an hour set when I started, and then I've basically stopped doing the music now, and I'm just telling jokes. I'm doing, sometimes I'll do an hour and a half or so. But I've written a lot of stuff over the last couple of years. It's been really enjoyable. I enjoy writing. The process of writing is fun for me. I'm always thinking of new ideas and jotting them down in my phone. I take notes, put them down in my phone, and then sort of craft them into material with some punchlines and things like this, and then jump up on stage and give them a shot,
Do you actually have like a designated time that you spent writing, a day or a week, or do you just kind of, however it comes, it comes?
Sometimes. Also, if I just am out with my friends and talking about ridiculous things that are making us laugh, and something sort of seems to be good stand-up material, I'll take it and I'll write it down. So, all right, here's my cranberry juice. Cranberry juice. Thank you very much.
Good callback, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah, so that's kind of the idea. Is basically when something sort of strikes me as funny, I write it down, and then I will sort of take select times throughout the week. I'll sit down at a computer and actually write things up.
Do you record your sets still, or what?
I do sometimes. I haven't been this weekend. We're in Tampa right now. I traveled with a cameraman for a while and was shooting all my sets multi-camera for about a year. But I just started touring again by myself. Maybe the last 3 months I've been by myself on the road. And I'm not really recording anything right now. But I do sometimes, yeah.
When you first came back a couple years ago, did you feel a lot of pressure because you were already so well known outside of stand-up that when people seen you that first week or first month, did you feel a lot of pressure to really hit them hard?
Yeah, I always put pressure on myself too, so, but it was fun too. It was really actually, after I got on stage the very first time, a lot of that pressure went away that I was putting on myself, because I realized it was fun, and people were laughing, and I was having a good time doing it. So, but I always push myself. So I think if you're not a little bit nervous before you get on stage, if you don't have any pressure that you're feeling, then you tend to phone things in, and so I think pressure is good.
Because of your website, did that generate a lot of people right out the gates that are just huge Tom Green fans coming to the show that knew what you were doing stand-up wise?
I think the website's been a big part of it. I had this web talk show that I've been doing on there for the last few years. Has been really going well. It gets millions and millions of downloads from all around the world, and I was getting emails from everywhere of people saying they wanted me to come do a show in their city. So that was nice, and that was part of the reason why I started doing stand-up again, like I said. But so I think so, absolutely. A lot of people remember the MTV show, of course, so all those videos that I shot, growing up on public access TV and on MTV. All those have gone pretty viral on YouTube in the last few years, so people sort of know me from all sorts of different things. The movies, Road Trip, Freddie Got Fingered, The Apprentice, all sorts of stuff,
You perform a lot overseas. What kind of significant differences do you see between the overseas audience and maybe an American audience? Or are there any, maybe?
Yeah, they are different. The audiences over there, I really like the audiences in England and Australia. I'm going to the Edinburgh Comedy Festival in Scotland in a week and a half. I'm going over there in August, so I'll be there for 2 weeks. And it's a little bit different the way they absorb comedy over there. It's a lot more of a two-way show. There's a lot more shouting back at the stage. All positive. It's not negative, but people will sort of heckle, just, their ideas, So you kind of turn it into kind of a
Do you
two-way
edit your set at all when you go overseas, like certain references or maybe certain jokes that won't translate well in certain markets?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, you kind of pick it up pretty quickly. Like when I did Australia, I did 16 shows there. So the first show, I sort of identified pretty quickly. Oh, okay, that little joke didn't really seem to get the response it normally gets, or this thing here. But for the most part, most of the material I'm doing is pretty, universally funny material. I hope it seems to be connecting with people around the world. But sometimes pop culture references and things like that, television shows and things like that, don't really resonate as well. So,
what has been your most fun experience overseas? Which country specifically maybe gave you the best response, or maybe the biggest crowd, maybe?
Well, London, England was amazing. All of Australia was amazing. I had a really interesting experience this year in Afghanistan. I went to do stand-up with the military and performed for about 5,000 troops over there. I went out to a bunch of forward operating bases, filmed some amazing video footage over there. So that was just kind of a real...
What kind of crowd was the USO crowd? Were they just super rowdy or a lot of energy?
Yeah, they were an amazing crowd, and they weren't rowdy. They were just laughing. Really good crowd, and it was great. Yeah.
Give us a story, maybe the worst case you've ever bombed on stage.
Well, I haven't really, knock on wood, bombed in the last 2 years. I don't really know if I want to say that. But I've picked up a few tricks along the way to make this set and make the show, better than it was when I started. I've never really had a really off night yet. I think the trick I've found is it's just, I just never really let people see me unhappy on stage. If somebody heckles me, or if people say something that, if they don't laugh at a joke as much as I think they should, I try to not take it out on them and get mad at the audience, and just kind of keep going and having fun with it. And it's been real positive, actually. It's been a great tour.
Do you work out new material on the road, or do you do it at a home club specifically, or you just toss it in as you tour?
I toss it in as I tour. Yeah, I toss it in as I tour. I'm always sort of trying a couple of new jokes every night. And if they work, I'll put them into I like that. If they work really well, then I'll, kind of keep doing it. And sometimes I'll try things a few times until they're really, really connecting. But I'll slip in like one or two jokes here and there between jokes that I know work really well, so that I don't, try a whole bunch of new stuff in a row or whatever.
Do you ever switch up your set list during the weekend, or do you have the same set list all weekend?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of switch things up a lot, but I'll usually have like 5 or 6 new jokes every week that I try out, or ideas or premises that I'm trying out, and usually I kind of like to get into a rhythm where I just kind of keep hitting them over and over. Keep doing the same joke over and over again until I really get like a few extra punchlines in there and stuff like that,
Well, thank you so much, Tom.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck tonight,
Awesome. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, there you have it, folks. Episode number 12 is in the books, as we like to say on the show. And if you like what you heard from Tom Green, be sure to check him out online, tomgreen.com. One of the coolest interactive websites for a comic online, period. Also visit my website, not nearly as cool as Tom's, but still cool nonetheless, joeriga.com. And until next time, on behalf of Matthew Baldwin and the Tampa Improv, my name is Joe Riga. Thank you for listening.